Welcome to Bears in Exile. Today is Friday, February the 1st, and this is a quick hit on the metals. Looking at silver, gold, and GDX. So, we had a unexpected, massively positive day in the market, and it carried silver right along with it. We can see here the very large gap up on silver, and it did not stay there. It fell apart, but there's a few interesting things to see here. For one, you might say, look at this and say, "Oh, silver is in big trouble from the bearish perspective," and the answer to that is yes. It got really close to these previous highs, and if it busts one of them out, I will be very nervous about silver going down. Thought last night that we were on our next leg down, and instead we went crazy. Now this is interesting in itself because you can see the tail here on silver. And where did it go? It went right to the descending trend line and backed away. And it coincided also with the eyeball trend line and backed away. So these two had perfect confluence, and that's exactly where it went. And it was support. Oof. We do have a small blip in the heat map for a topping area, thanks to the big gap up. And we have all of the indicators now going up. So, definite warning sign for the silver bears. They just have not been able to get it together, really, at all. And that is what it is. Moving on to... Actually, you know what? I'll look at the 60-minute. I'll look at the 60-minute real fast to see if there is any hope for those silver bears. And here we are, the movement today, giant gap up, and moderate problems the rest of the day. Beyond that, what do we see? Well, we see a topping area, and it's trying to work itself off by the end of the day. We can see that we have really nice rollover on everything. Getting the stochastic all the way back to the top and rolling, meeting the 14-day RSI moving average for a trip down. The 60-minute looks good for bears, but we've seen many instances where the 60-minute looks great for a rollover, and they do a gap up, and the rollover is wasted. So Monday is massively important. If we gap up and take out a recent high, it could be all over. On the other hand, if we have a gap down or we are flat and then do our move down, the bears are probably in good shape. So very difficult to gauge at this moment. What can you say? Now moving on to GLD, silver has been better than gold in regards to strength. Last night we were saying that we're getting close to that ascending trend line. We're having our little bounce. We got into the long-term moving average bar. We were kicked out of it. Stopped at the 200-day moving average after piercing it really nice. Today gapping up huge again, once again into the long-term moving average bar. It fell apart even worse than the last time, which is encouraging for the gold bears. And we did pierce the 200-day moving average. We have worked off almost all of the bottoming area in the heat map, but we do have everything in alignment for at least some move up. So we could go back up to that long-term moving average bar and try to beat it the correct way, but this does look worse than silver, much weaker, and not really encouraging to the bears in my opinion. You know what? I'm just going to go into a fast 60-minute on this one too, just to see where it is. You can see the big move up today, faded out the rest of the day. Here we are very similar to silver in that we have pretty good alignment, not as good, but pretty good alignment for movement down in the 60-minute time frame. It's all going to depend on the opening place on Monday as to how this turns out. And GDX to finish off the evening. Now this one is more unique. We have an uptick today, and the uptick gives us a target just above 43, essentially $1 above where we are now. We do have a bottoming area in the heat map. We are still moving down on the 14-day RSI moving average, but everything else is trying to turn around, and we have that uptick. So just above 43, which coincides with the descending trend line. This would be healthy. Be nice to do a bubble corrective move and then continue on the downside. But if this does get a bounce, it is going to help gold and silver, which helps color or maybe complicate things for the silver and gold bears. And might as well look at the 60-minute. I've done it on the other ones tonight, so might as well do it on this one. Does this one look like it needs some room up, or does it look like it needs to break its floor? Well, here's the floor, and here's where it is right now. We can see the problems that it has in the 60-minute time frame when it comes into contact with the long-term moving average bar. Actually, we've only had really one good test of it, and we're on to the second one now. But we can see there's nothing in the heat map for GDX. You can see the 14-day RSI moving average is moving down, and we already are high on the CCI, the stochastics. The RSI is essentially neutral. The MACD histogram and the MACD are still going up, and they have room to move as well. So kind of in the air, but if this one flips over and goes down, it will most likely break its floor right away, in which case I'll be very, very bearish and take gold and silver with it. So, I wish it was clearer tonight. I wish there was some more information or some kind of a tell. The tell on the daily seems to say that we will have a bounce further, and that is massively dangerous. So there it is. As always, all investing decisions are your own. This chart and video for entertainment, educational, and consumption of time purposes only. Thank you.